In this world, space is a realm without form, boundaries, or positions, so it cannot be explained by any specific faith, ideology, or scientific theory. Space can only be explained by an infinite being. It is impossible for humans to explain a boundless space with their abilities. Because humans have shapes, boundaries, and contrasts of light and dark, they possess originality and autonomy, but they cannot exist alone without exchange and communication. By having boundaries and variability, humans also experience suffering, and Jesus teaches that this suffering is not eliminated through the pursuit of power, but rather by having an open heart, which allows one to find peace. However, religion, contrary to Jesus' words, has pursued infallibility, domination, and absolute obedience, leading to endless conflicts, clashes, and killings. When looking at life or nature individually, differences always appear. From that, various forms emerge, and relative highs and lows arise. By utilizing these differences, people can fill in each other's shortcomings through concessions, compromises, and mutual respect, and new ideas or knowledge can emerge. Fragmentary and temporary inequalities may exist. However, there are no inequalities that cannot be healed. The Lord is not an infallible, omnipotent being, but an infinite being who can heal defects and errors in any situation. Jesus did not come to speak of infallibility or flawlessness, but to speak of a life of forgiveness. People cannot live only in goodness and often fall into temptation. This is not because humans are predetermined as sinners, but because they are not perfect beings, and by practicing the Lord's words, they can become good people. Jesus' words do not speak of absolute eternal good, but of a creative good that heals evil, suffering, and thirst. Faith emerges when we forgive each other in our imperfections, which is why Jesus forgave Peter, even when he repeated his mistakes and made him a disciple. Therefore, the Lord came as the lowest and smallest person, but later generations tried to live lives opposite to Jesus' words. Later people did not try to become beings that burn their own bodies to illuminate the world like Jesus, but instead engaged in endless confrontations and conflicts with others. He did not come to build large churches to glorify them greatly, but as a lamp that illuminates the darkness that burns itself to emit light. Coming as the smallest church in the world that shines upon the darkness. Jesus said, "Knock and it will be opened. Seek and you will find." Therefore, there is nothing one needs to prepare to obtain faith. It is sufficient to have a heart that knocks and seeks anytime, anywhere. This is possible because space and time always emerge. Human actions are never perfect. Time does not allow returning to the past. However, one can correct mistakes and make a new start. A new start can be made at any place, at any moment. That is, a wounded and hurting soul can receive a response by knocking anytime, anywhere. Therefore, it means never to give up or despair, and that time is moving toward you. This speaks of a new cycle, a creative cycle, meaning that space and time can emerge creatively. This means that space and time cannot be viewed only physically, but also spiritually. It can be said to be like how every morning it is not yesterday's sun that rises, but a new sun that rises each day. In other words, a new beginning and a new cycle are contained within the smallest church in the world. Furthermore, regardless of status or wealth, it's a place that can provide space and time for life to anyone. And no matter how much of that space and time is given away, there is never any shortage.